Okay, just double checking on YouTube. Okay, sick. Good evening and welcome to Entrepreneurs Live Show. I am Tasha, aka Miss Kiff, and I'm your host. Tonight's going to be a little bit different. Unfortunately, I'm not the legend Dawid. I'm so sorry. He's passed, and it's going to take a lot for us to fill his boots, but we want to carry on his legacy, and we wanted to carry on really interviewing entrepreneurs the way they should be. So having said that, there's going to be a few of us interviewing for the next for the rest of the year, really. And it's going to be myself, Karen, Kiff, Jeff, and Yashina. Marlon, are you doing any interviews?
No, none of these.
No. Okay. So yeah, just if you see someone different, it's because we're taking over, we're hijacking the show for good cause. So, as per usual, we have an exceptionally awesome guest, and this is Marlon August. Hi, Marlon. How are you?
Very, very well. Thank you, Miss Kiff. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. I'm really excited for today's show. So, yeah, I'm going to let you just take the show completely and let the viewers know who you are, what you do.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, as Ms. Kiff said, my name is Marlon August. I am a marketing consultant, and I help brands tell their story. You know, there's so many now. Story is the buzzword, right? Many people, but it's really not what you think it is. Telling stories is not that once upon a time. You know, you could go into that whole narrative, but really telling a story is about inviting your customer into a story. It's about actually telling your customer's story. So I help brands use story in their marketing so that more people are attracted to it, so that more people pay attention to it, and so that more people take action. So that we do this mainly online now, but it doesn't matter, online, offline, creating these awesome narratives, you know, these beautiful stories that invite people to engage with our products and services so that they can be the best version of whoever they want to be.
Okay, so narrow it down a little bit for our viewers in terms of storytelling. So if you can just give an example, for instance, as I don't think a lot of our viewers know exactly what storytelling is. And to be honest with you, even myself, I didn't really know a lot until I met you and Stephen, you know? So just give us a little bit more insight.
Yeah, thanks for asking that. You know, so telling stories is not just this once upon a time type of thing, like I was saying earlier. It's really about your customer. Is they have an end result, or you have an end result for your customer, and that's for them, especially in the work that you do, is for them to achieve real success in social media and especially on YouTube. But for you to feed that conversation to them, that story to them, you got to let them wear the shoes a little bit. So it's more about transporting somebody, you know, like when you watch an ad and it takes you somewhere. That is what you need to do with your content. It's got to be super descriptive. It's got to be, and you got to talk to them, putting them in their shoes. You know, the biggest problem today is that we expect people to understand what we do by just saying the words, you know, like, I'm a mechanic. And really, it could be that simple, but really it's like, I help people just make sure that they can take their kids to school, and that they can, you know, I help fathers and mothers get to their child's favorite sport, you know, and it's like, what does that mean? Yeah, okay, you can drive it down further, but I mean, I'm just saying you can start to take people on this journey. And that's what story is really all about, being able to be super descriptive and around and laying the scenery for somebody to be able to land themselves in there, because it's speaking to their real problems, and it's solving those problems. And that's what mixes in the story narrative with the marketing. That's where those two come together.
I love that. I love that, real problems and solving. That's very much a keyword that spit out at me straight away. Before we continue this conversation, I want to invite any viewers that's watching now, shout out to Marlon. And if you have a question of him regarding copywriting or storytelling, please just drop it in the comment section below. I will look at the comment section towards the end, and I will queue again in a minute. So in terms of storytelling, is it on a specific platform, or is it emails? Where specifically do you do the storytelling?
Great question. Everywhere. It's everywhere. It's anywhere that words are used. I see Maggie made a comment in there, and honestly, like, Maggie's really one of those people that is a great storyteller. While it stays, she's extremely factual, and she gets you into it. She tells you a lot of great content. It's really about that. It's really about talking about the things that people care about. So it doesn't matter, because we all use words to describe our experience. And those words can be spoken, those words can be written, and so wherever you can see that, it can be in a video. So wherever you can actually engage with those words is where storytelling can be done. So yes, in your emails, you can do it. On your social media posts, you can do it. On your, what else? On your business cards, in your, we look at how many different places in terms of your bio on social media. You can do that there. Describe your business. There's when you're doing your sales pitch, you're telling a story. At any given moment in time, you are telling a story, and you just want to be able to just be clear. I think that the big difference is just having this clear framework in terms of how you can talk about it. And really, it's just like problem, and then you bring in that solution. So you can draw out that problem. You can drag it. You can sort of make them really feel the problem, feel different elements of the problem, and then you start to slowly solve it, and you slowly start to bring them around to, like, this could happen. There's lots of other things like story gaps and things like that one can create, but that's really to just make that. So if I talk about a problem, and then I leave you there, I leave you kind of hanging, and I say, well, if you want to. And this is where it comes into the emails and the SMSs and like sort of short form content in social media posts. You want to leave that story gap so that the only way that they can fix that story gap or close that story gap is by clicking the button. This is where copywriters are super amazing. Great storytellers are amazing at that.
So for someone who's obviously new, what would be a good copywriting and what would be not great? So if you can just, what not to do when doing copywriting for beginners, this is. Can you, is that such a thing to answer? Or is it more they have to call you for one-to-one?
I think it is, but it's not really necessarily my game. I think that's more Steven's game, right? Because while I play with copy and I play with words, I'm more like positioning those words in places where your ideal customer will see them. I'm not like a wordsmith, so, but I can definitely, does that make sense? Does that make sense to you?
It does. But I would like you to maybe tap a little bit deeper, because I understand and I'm sure the viewers as well, between a copywriter who is a linguist to like someone like yourself who's more, kind of that key strategist within copywriting.
Yeah, 100%. So I think things that you shouldn't do is definitely talk about yourself. What most business owners do. So I'll give you an example of a website. What most websites look like. The top of the website is, we are amazing, and then straight after that is about us. So that's what most websites do. I know I just was quite facetious about it, but really it's like, okay, so these are our products on a slideshow, and then right below that is like, this is about us. And that's where most people go totally wrong with their marketing overall. You wanna constantly put your mind you want to put your mind in the shoes of the customer. You want to think from their perspective. What is valuable to them? What's beneficial to them? Not how can I get them to do this? It's really when I'm thinking about copy, when I'm thinking about a sales pitch, I really try, and it was funny because I made this mistake the other day pitching people, and when they heard my pitch, they were like, no, you were just talking all about yourself. You need, and they felt they were totally disconnected from what I had to say. And it just reminded me of like, okay, what I've got to really do is really look at what do they want? What does my customer want? And how can I help them be better, achieve what they want? Like if you're pitching for sponsors, if you're pitching for someone to jump into your business, what do they really want? So most people talk about themselves, and that alienates your customer, because people come to your website, or they're reading your emails, or they come to your social media not to learn about you. They don't want to hear your story. They want to hear theirs. And when they can feel connected to their story, that's when they want to know about you.
Yeah, this is such a powerful too, you know, like even for myself being a social media strategist, it's definitely something I've had to learn. I am someone who definitely tends to test. And I remember getting frustrated. I said the theme of a couple of weeks ago was frustration versus patience. And then I realized it was, no, that is me versus my customer. And it's like when you remove yourself and you really put the needs of the customer in place, then things do start turning around, and you get engagement, and you get likes or comments, or, you know, even just asking a question that is a problem. And that people want to talk about their problem. So it gets engagement up, you know?
Exactly.
So having said about, you know, you said about customers and knowing your customers. I know that I've just signed up to your 5K challenge.
Yes.
And I just wanted to drop it in like it's hot, because I just scrolled through it a little bit, and I saw the first couple of modules is all about your audience. So do you want to tell us more about your 5K challenge, and what, if people are keen, what they can expect, etc.?
Sure. Thank you very much. So what I noticed, like especially last year, because I mean, obviously with COVID hitting, companies went into a bit of, everybody went into a bit of a spin, and lockdown all around the world, right? So that impacted everybody. And like for people that really needed to just start to inject a lot more awareness, increase their marketing, perform on their sales level, reignite those lists, and build new ones, that actually there were just some simple things that they needed to do. And we spoke about this a little bit already at length during this session. And really the first part is getting clear on who you're speaking to. Because when your messaging is clear, when you know who you're speaking to, when you know what they want, and when you know like what makes them, what could trigger them, then at least, like you said, you were testing, right? So I'm not saying that you need to know exactly, but if you have an idea of where they're going to go, then it makes it easier to connect directly to them, to their problems, and to how to help them out of those problems. The one thing I realized is when you have these specific assets in place, and then you launch those assets, you can inject serious attention on yourself, increase the awareness by past and future customers, and heavily engage them. And really generate a lot more sales. So what I did was I created that course, and it's a challenge. So basically on the front end, it's a course. So you can learn all the things that you need to learn in order to inject to get all the assets in place. And then on the back of that is a challenge. It's like a 30 to 40 day email challenge that just encourages people to actually execute, because the problem is that people, they got all some people have their website, they have some of the marketing material that I'm even talking about. Some of them even know the stuff we're talking about right now, but very few people follow through. So the challenge is about them following through. It's about them getting those things done. And yeah, you jumped in. So we're going to actually be doing this. We're going to be doing this together. I'm going to be doing it with you, and just injecting that sales, injecting this into our sales and marketing, and start increasing our awareness and our sales.
Because this is something like, for me, thank you so much, Marlon, for actually creating this, because I feel like it's come at a perfect time for me as well. Like, even though I'm an entrepreneur, everyone, like, I'll put my hands up. I love to learn. And even if it's something that I might know maybe 5%, 50%, even 90%, there's still a factor of percentage that I can still learn on and improve on, because I'm not a know, right? And something that I really struggled with is literally the copyright, with the landing pages and getting, because for instance, I'm a strategist, so I can get people to the landing page, but in order for someone to click on that landing page to then go through, a little bit of a sales funnel, it's more like, for me, is I want to know, am I having too many emails afterwards? Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. We are live. There you go. It's about, is it too many emails that's happening? Or is it the wording that's wrong? Something that I changed on one of my emails is, instead of doing a follow-up email in terms of trying to sell them a product to a problem, I landed up just saying, join my Facebook page. And actually, something that I was very grateful for is that it worked. That instead of going next is a sale, rather taking them back to a Facebook page so they can find my value, is something that is cool. But is something in this 5K challenge, is it something that we're going to learn, or is it, do you want to just fill me in a little bit more about what we're going to learn in the 5K?
Sure. So I don't cover landing pages. I cover it a bit, mainly because, yes, a landing page is super important, depending on, but a lot of people aren't there, right? Some people are not at that level yet. They just like, I need sales. so me having to go design a landing page and write that copy and build an email automation, it's just like, that's like next level stuff, and something that we can definitely talk about in terms of just setting up. But the first element of that is the messaging, and it is understanding your audience. So that, in terms of having to get that, it's the first step. But later on, I think it's one of the bonus modules where we start to talk a little bit about a landing page, and I do have a template for building up copy on a landing page. So you will be able to leverage that, and you're part of the group of people that we're coaching. So we'll speak directly about that, and really talk about your funnel specifically. But generally, people don't necessarily need that. They don't need that to generate sales. What they need is to get in front of customers and close them. They need to have, it's great to have a nurturing sequence, but what you need is to be in contact with your customer more often. That's what's going to help you really make the sales. It's people buy from people that they like, and that they like. What is that? They know and they like, right? So generally, you're not going to make, so that's why you have to send like 5, 6, 7 emails. But over a phone, you can build connection really fast. Over a video, you can build connection really fast. And in like, if you can be smart enough to either say, use your assets in the clever way that, like you say, you send them to a Facebook page or a Facebook group, and then in that Facebook group you sell. That could work, because you're bringing them into this closed space where they can connect with you, and then you can do a live in there and then share with them and say, like, listen, I got this offer for you, take it or leave it type of vibe. There's lots of opportunities to sell within the journey of your customer. But the purpose of this specific challenge is to get the assets that I see as the most important assets that one needs in order to get the curiosity of your customer, of your ideal customer, get them to sort of be happy to connect with you personally, and meet with you either online so that you can close them into the deal. Obviously, we're not talking about passive sales here. We're talking about really active in one way or form and closing those sales, because we're talking about really focused action for 30 days, because $5,000 into your business, I'll tell you, into my business over the next month will be a massive increase. It'll be massive for my confidence. It'll be massive for my business, and it can just roll over a whole lot of other things that can happen.
This sounds incredible, and it's especially the way I've been kind of speaking. If I'm honest, it's going to be a massive lesson for me to kind of take it back home. And when does this challenge start, and where can anybody find what's the website name? We'll drop it in the comment section. Don't worry, everyone.
Awesome, thank you. So the challenge starts whenever you're ready. That's the way it works. The course material, you can go through that, because you need the assets in order to actually do the challenge. So it's really more about, the onus is on you as someone that's like, I'm ready to take it. I'll know when you're taking it, because you'll sign up for it. So you basically sign up twice. You sign up in the beginning, you get all the coursework, and then you prepare everything, and then you sign up for the challenge, and then 30 to 40 days after that of implementing every single day, you will have a much bigger bank account.
So the modules that we do, how long do you think per day do we spend on the modules before we start the 30 days of actioning?
So I would say you need about a week maximum, because the videos themselves are not even longer than 3 minutes. But obviously what you explain in 3 minutes could take someone an hour or two to finish. Just depends on how well you really know your customer. That's why in the course themselves, in the course material, I've left a Facebook comments thing. So if people are struggling, and they like say, this is where I'm struggling, me and my team can jump in there and really help them immediately. But essentially, it should take someone, if they focus on it, a week, practice, maybe doing about 30 minutes a day, you quite easily get everything together, because it doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to be ready.
Yeah, 100%. You're the only one that will keep you back. So everyone, if you are super up for this challenge, I'll be doing it, and let's keep each other accountable. And Marlon will be there and his team. So come on, if you want to increase your sales by $5,000, who doesn't? Get on the challenge. Maggie has said that she's super excited for the challenge. She's registered as well. And
Awesome.
Yoshina says that she wants to do that to boost my business. So the interest is there. So
cool.
Marlon, let's backtrack quickly, because let's talk more about you and your journey, because I know Dawid was very interested as the entrepreneurs. How do they get here? Very interested as you as a person. We can talk business all day long, but talking about you sometimes can be a bit like, oh, I don't know. So let's put you on the spotlight. And what's your business journey? How did you get to this moment here?
Great. Thank you very much for asking. So my background has always been in sports. So I'm an avid, I'm crazy, nuts about judo. Yeah, been practicing it since I was like 9 years old, and like did it throughout my life at quite a high level, and traveled the world. And because judo itself is not a it's a semi-professional sport, right? So we had to fund ourselves. So I was in a family business the whole time. That's how I funded my judo career. Traveling, yeah. I mean, I spent basically because we'd go on the world tour, and then the only way to be able to compete is to I mean, we're from Africa, so it's quite expensive for us. So we'd have to be 3 months in and around the world on the world tour, and then like maybe 2 or 3 months back home, and then another 3 months out. So it'd be costing quite a bit of cash. And so I had to learn about how to get my business online. And I mean, and I've always been kind of in one way or form in sales or marketing through a family business. And we were doing trade throughout SADC in the Southern African region. And so we would do business with Namibia and Botswana, Mozambique, Angola, Zambia. I think I said Zimbabwe already, Botswana. So we were doing business in these areas, Malawi, and yeah, that's how I started to get my business acumen through my parents. And they like, you know, I grew up in that business, continued, and round about what 2000. Well, I went to the Olympic Games. I qualified for the Olympic Games. I did Olympic Games twice, and then so I had to really figure out how to do business and still, you know, like be out in the world, because during that period of time got married and all that stuff. And I had to really figure it out. So, and then at some point I got really more into marketing, and really started learning how to code websites and build them, and use the stuff that I was doing online. So that's like how I eventually get to that. And then round about 2016, after the 2016 Olympic Games, I retired, and decided, no, I'm going to leave the family business, and created Focal Shift Communications, which was Story Advantage in the beginning. So that was 5 years ago now, and started agency life. I wanted to do everything. Ads, you know, websites, social media. I was doing it all. I was absolutely nuts. But I mean, I went for it, and it was a glorious failure, only because it made me really unhappy. We were growing quite fast, growing in staff and growing but I really hated it. So at some point between that, I just decided I need to focus on my happiness and what makes me happy. And I really started asking myself some better questions, accredited in a framework called Story Brand. If any of you want to read an awesome book, you should read a book by Donald Miller called Building a Story Brand. And that is what formed the basis of what I do now. This was now, it's almost 3 years, but it's 2 years since then. I've credited for 2 years. And since then, I went to the United States and accredited and met some really awesome people, my colleagues still today. And so from there, I brought that back here. And I'm actually one of only 2 story brand guides in the country. And yeah, that's what gets me to this point.
That's so sick. As if I didn't know you were Olympic Jiu-Jitsu player, bro. Like, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's brilliant. Wow, like what a journey. And I really love the part you said about you wanted to do everything too quickly, and then you really just went, whoa, what makes me happy? So what makes you happy now? Like if you could just sum it up, what is your core values and What makes you happy now?
So at some point during that year, I asked myself, really, what would I love to do if I could do it all day, every day? And really was making money out of my ideas. So, so one day I was like, I want to just make money out of the things I think. That's it. I don't want to do anything. I just want to make money out of that. And and that's what spurred on that conversation. So really, I love to come up with strategy. I love to see that strategy come to fruition. And every single day, I'm realizing it more and more. And I mean, I had an awesome meeting today with a gentleman that are just gonna, these guys are just gonna take a whole lot off my plate. So I just have less to think about. I got so excited. I went for a run this afternoon. I was like, yo, I just feel like already just not having to think about it. So really, I love to do strategy. I love to look at things from the big picture. That's also the type of person I am. I'm a very big picture thinker. I'm very analytical. So I can see it already from far. So I prefer to just leverage those strengths. And that's really what makes me tick. I could do that all day.
Sick. So do you offer one-to-one coaching?
So no, but yes. So
Okay.
like, it's starting, right? It's starting because and it's actually starting with you guys coming into the challenge and me coaching you through the challenge. It's something I have a passion for. I love teaching. Funny enough, when I started Focal Shift Communications, that business, we started doing marketing and sales for teaching businesses. So we were all like in the personal development and teaching world, working with some of the most awesome guys that are running events, and they're all in the teaching space, teaching sales, teaching management, teaching personal development. So like a lot of those guys, we were filling up rooms for them, managing those rooms, nurturing people into those rooms via email marketing. So like, just learning everything that was happening. So I've always being in that space for such a long period of time, spending hours and hours and watching people transform. I got a knack for it myself. And I mean, it's just something that I really love to do. I really love to teach.
I can tell because if you ever have the privilege of being able to get to one-to-one coaching with Marlon, we had a very informal meeting, which I felt like I was being coached, to be fair. I got into a business meeting with Marlon, and it was kind of like, like just see what you do. And instead of it being about what we can do together, it was more about he asked you the best questions of your life, like for real. I was just like, instant dream team. I loved it because it wasn't about you spoke your business brand. You know what I mean? It wasn't about you. It was about kind of me. And I really remember that from our meet cute, which is really, really cool. So definitely get into a coaching session with Marlon, and definitely look at his challenge. I highly recommend it, even though I'm just starting the challenge myself. What I want to ask from you is, for entrepreneurs looking to go in the industry that you are, first let's go via industry, because there could be potential strategy copywriters who be very interested in this career. What would your do's and don'ts for them?
So anybody starting any business, regardless of what it is, I would suggest not going at it alone. Hook up to somebody that you perceive is ahead of you in the game, and then provide them value. If you have a dream to become a great copywriter, or it doesn't matter what you sell, actually, it doesn't really matter. If you see you identify some people that you want to connect with, go to them and offer your services, and probably either do it at super low cost or free. And then once you're in their space, once you've shown them value, once you've generated a result, that's when you start to, things will open up. You know, there's a weirdness about that. Things just start to open up, opportunities start to come your way, as long as you stay aware. But I think the biggest thing will happen is you'll learn. And then out of the learning itself, you'll be able to leverage further. So you'll be able to hone in your craft. I mean, if somebody's in that space, and they're giving you their knowledge for free, you know, and you get to soak all of that up, then you can use that either in your nighttime, or your you know, like, let's say during your day you're busy doing this, and then your nighttime you're leveraging other things that you may be selling your time to other people at a higher fee or at a low fee, starting yourself out, you know, leveraging it twice. But that is what I would say. Anybody, if you like completely new to an industry, you want to kick off, you want to start out, but you don't know where to start, I would suggest go and look for who are some of the bigger players in your arena, and then badger the heck out of them to get in their space and do it like literally for nothing. Because trust me, like, everybody else is looking for a handout, everybody else is looking to get paid. And if you go in there like, I'm just here to learn, give you anything you need, what do you need? And I mean, literally, that's how I started. When I started my business, I started earning 500 Rand a month. And I literally said to them, I went to my customers and I said, listen, guys, I'm a marketer. What do you need? And I wasn't like, because everything that I wanted, I actually went back 3 times. And by the way, these were people that I knew, right? When I had my other business, these were people that I hired as coaches. But then when now I was like stuck and I needed to kick my business off, I went back to them and I said, this is what I offer. I had apps, I had websites, I had no, I didn't do automation at that stage. Social media, I did all these things, right? But none of those things they needed. But then one said, actually, you know what I need? I need automation. I need someone to sort out these emails and make them work. I didn't know anything about it. I was like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, yeah. I was actually, yeah. And then obviously I went to go learn. You've got the internet today. I went to go learn. And in fact, they weren't stupid. People aren't stupid. They could tell this guy's completely green around automation, was Infusionsoft at the time. They actually bought the course for me, got me in, paid me a little bit of money, trusted me. You know, they got me that opportunity. And the 2 years we worked together, I started at 500 Rand. And by the end was like doing an annuity monthly income of at least about 20,000 Rand. And then that was just my one client, you know. We slowly built, and because they were like, we want you to be an entrepreneur. I mean, they couldn't really stop me, so because I could only work certain amounts of hours for them. So then from there, I grew in confidence, and I started branching out to other people that I knew. And again, like the second person I spoke to, they were like, I don't need any of your automation. I don't need any of your website stuff. I need SEO. And I was like, I can do that. It's not that I had no idea. I wasn't a pro. And then I started at 5 grand. And like, that was much higher than the 500 Rand that was like about 6 months before that, you know. And then slowly, then they were like, I need Facebook ads. It's like, hey, I do that too. What, you know? And I started learning. And before you knew it, like, I started to pick out the things that I really wanted to do. And that's I believe, if you have no idea how to get it going, that is a simple strategy. It's not simple. It's not easy, but you will learn a lot, and you will cry a lot too.
I definitely like this. I like this, what you're saying, because I can relate as well. Being an entrepreneur, you have to be open-minded and take on, seriously, if a customer says they want something, you go, no, you kind of are shutting down a lead straight away. And you're just like, whoa, that could be your 20,000 freaking Rand customer. If you don't know what you're doing, you know, learn how to. But I can relate to this because, sorry, I'm getting so excited to talk about it. I get like this. So basically, going back, so I had to just jump into my business last year just because of how things are. And I don't want to make this interview about me, so I'm just going to keep it short. I then land up doing a few strategies myself, but then I wasn't feeling it even myself. So I was trying to sell something that wasn't really me, and people weren't really buying it. And then it came to be just expanding, listening, being aware of the customer. And then I changed my journey, and I started going into blogging, and like, because I was focused on YouTube strategies quite a lot, but I just changed a little bit, like, let me just start proper blogging and do some research and stuff like that. Now I got so much interest from people commenting and things like that. And for me, being open-minded about something is now actually to my benefit, because all of the stuff that I was doing kind of 6 months ago, I've kind of been like, done with that, or shelve that until I can master that. But for now, the target audience really wants this specific thing. So it's such an important thing to be open-minded about your business and the opportunities that will come. So having said that, what is your most success or your aha moments you've had in business?
So I'd say so I've heard it many times, right? Seen it, read it in books. I mean, I'm a big learner like you. You know, I think this is why we connect. It's because we know that you don't really know anything. You don't know what you don't know, and then you only really know the things you practice. You know, that you felt in your skin, because knowing it theoretically is not the same. And so I'd say one of the biggest lessons for me is how important a system is in your business, because the more you are, and it's like, it seems very like robotic, but if you understand, if you have process, if you know the processes in your business, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can run your business from anywhere in the world. You can, you know which parts to outsource. I mean, I probably didn't have to, but I literally spent a good year just focusing on every single process that I needed to do. And I would overdo that process. So basically, it's having these simple steps that you know are repeatable, because business essentially is a repeatable thing. And when you do that, when you have that repeatable process that can run on automatic, and you can do this and it still runs, and then the money goes like that, and the money goes like that, that's when you know you've got something that works. And that for me is my biggest lesson, and something I'm always constantly tweaking and watching.
So yeah, this is also very, very good information, actually. I love it so much. Favorite quote? Put you on the spot.
You're only as good as your last game.
Yeah, nice. Any final thoughts, Marlon, for the viewers?
Sure. So look, I think if for all you iPhone people out there, you should come and join me on Clubhouse. I am doing, so look for the app Clubhouse, and then you probably, because like I know people are saying you need an invite to it, download the app, sign up, and then probably somebody you know around the world is on that app and can vouch for you. It's in beta at this stage. Guys, it's the place to be, because there are awesome, the world's best. You would never see them. You probably don't know them. These guys are big. They have big audiences. They are successful business people. Some of them don't have big audiences and are really successful. And they're sharing awesome tips and strategies and things like that for your business. So I would suggest you get on there. I have a room in there as well, if I'm not mistaken.
What?
That's it. That's it. So get in there, find me in there. Marlon August, you can look for me. And, I'm hosting my own room in there, where I'm also going to just be sharing, tips on how to keep your marketing super simple, how you can use and I'm doing like free reviews in there. So you come in, and then you put your website, and I will be reviewing your website, reviewing your messaging in there, all for free, you know. And I think it's just an awesome place to provide tons of value for people, and to connect with people. So if you're looking to grow your business, looking to connect to a worldwide market, because this is where we are right now. Everybody around the world is on this app, and it's awesome. I mean, I'm in rooms with Grant Cardone. It's nuts. It's nuts. You know Grant Cardone.
Actually, I don't. Oh my
You
goodness.
don't know Grant Cardone? Oh, you gotta check out
YouTube.
You gotta check
so I can research him and also be like super all over him.
Yeah, you love him. You know, it depends on, like, obviously it's not everybody's flavor, but really it's just about, there's a lot of great people in there. So that's pretty much my last note, is that get Clubhouse, connect with people, and it's the easiest way to connect with the people that is actually your ideal customer.
Yeah. I want to know, one last question for you, Marlon, is what is your 2021 goals for your business?
Thank you for that. My 2021 goal is really to 10x the business this year, and because we've invested so much in the system. I think I said a year, but I actually spent about 2 years really checking in with me. What do I want? And then the next year was, how does this business operate? So for me now, I feel like I'm in that space where this business is gonna. I built a rocket ship, and now it's just to light it up. So to 10x the business, to really live a life that I'm super proud of, and by that I mean, like, you know, doing more of the things I really, really enjoy, and have more time for that. So and I think something that has been plaguing my mind, I say plague because it sounds bad, but really it's been in a good way. How can I spend more time sharpening the sword instead of sharpening the axe instead of using it? So you know, that's like building proper, powerful routines that keeps me healthy, my mindset wealthy, and my heart like just open, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much the goal.
Marlon, this has been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for joining Entrepreneurs Live Show today. Where can people find you in terms of your business and social media aspects? Please do comment as well down below. But just awesome. You want to shout it out?
Yeah, thank you. Marlon, BHA, MARLON, BHA. That's on everything. On Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, LinkedIn. You just search Marlon August. That luckily nobody's got that handle on most of the places. So I always, even on Clubhouse, it's Marlon BHA. So you can get me on all of them there. Not so active on Twitter, starting to be a bit more active there, but mostly on Instagram, and then Facebook you can get me there. So yeah, otherwise Story Advantage is the name of my business, and we are, I mean, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of stuff happening at the moment in the web development world. WordPress is about to take a dive. I'm just saying, but I know it's a whole different conversation for more technical conversation. But yeah, there's a whole lot happening. But my whole purpose of bringing that up is that we're busy revamping the website. But storyadvantage.co is where you get me. Yeah, and marlonaugust.com.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you all the viewers that checked in, or if you're watching on replay, thank you very much. Please check the link in the description, as you will find the latest issue of Entrepreneurs Live Show magazine. And please do remember to like and subscribe, and please comment. We'd love to hear from you, and watch the actual opening video of this channel. This is Dawid. I loved it. I watched it today, and he was just like, trying to tell a scary story. And then he goes, if you're an entrepreneur, get in touch. So please do get in touch. You can get us on all the social media aspects. I'll link it down below. And we're going to be here every night, Monday to Friday at 6 o'clock. Thank you for everybody being so patient. And yeah, loads of love on every episode goes to Dawid and Leonie, who's taking over Entrepreneurs Live Show as the CEO. Okay, lots of love. And thank you, Marlon, again. Have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, Ms. Kiff. One more thing I'd just like to say, Dawid was an awesome man. And like knew him for a short period of time, but connected with him in a deep, deep way, like all of you. And I'm super excited to pay tribute to the man. And I'm looking forward to helping them continue his legacy. So thank you very much for everything that you're doing.
Always. Cool. Have a cool night. Thank you, Marlon.
Thanks. Bye.